on me. Promise that you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Michelle and you are on the sunny side of Florida. Alright, in today's video guys, we're just going to kind of discuss all these mandates, and for the two people that it affects in our household, which is me and Dad on a nurse's line and a military line. Of course, the two that we happen to be in one household is what's all of a sudden requiring a mandate. I usually don't do these hot topics. All because honestly guys, these hurt my channel at the end of the day. No lie, I logged on the other morning because I had done a nurse one by itself and I had uploaded it to YouTube. I got a strike. It was my first strike ever, and it's so funny, but we laugh about it in my house that I have multiple, because I screenshotted it because we were laughing at it all over my Facebook and stuff. I just woke up, and after I had put my title and they had reviewed it, they come back to my channel and had said that I've had multiple strikes against my account and that I needed to be careful with what I continue to post. Can you imagine? Like, be careful with what you continue to post. If you guys know, like, I'm a family channel for the most part, or some UK versus American content. I don't curse, that's not my personality anyways. So, and I'm not running around on here naked. So where are my dings coming from? And the other day, like, no lie, a week before, we were bragging and joking, and I was like, oh my God, I've made it, what, a year and a half into YouTube, and I've never had a ding. And they'll send you these little yays for you. And I had even got an applaud about how good I had done on YouTube about never getting a ding. And then all of a sudden, like, no lie, after uploading that video, I have multiple dings and I need to be careful now. So, if I would like to keep my channel, they are telling me that it is very censored enough that I better watch what I tell you guys or put out there. So, anyways guys, let's jump into this video. By September the 15th, it has been mandated that nurses across the world, here in America, I should say, and the military is mandated to get the new vaccine. SecDef has put out something. You know, we were waiting a couple weeks because it was a balance back and forth. All he needed was a president sign it, and it sounds like that is pretty much where it is going at this point, that they are going to mandate that for the nurses and the military members. I have seen a lot of people that, sadly enough, have just, and it kind of breaks my heart, and they're just in the same boat, of course, that we are at this point as far as the military family, about giving 8-10 years of service up, something they thought they were doing to protect a nation, something that they found as an honorable job, that now they are thinking honestly about giving up careers at this point to stand their ground, to be forced with something that is not FDA approved. Are we having those conversations in our house? Of course guys, we're having those conversations in our house. If you guys have followed me long enough, you probably already know where I stand with this topic. If not, you're going to listen to this video long enough, you're definitely going to know. So I'm going to kind of address the nurses part first. So I keep seeing that an unvaccinated nurse is a health risk at this point. Okay, I can listen to that one. So you are saying that if a nurse is unvaccinated, that you're not sure that you want that nurse to take care of you. Well, okay, that's fair. Some of you really have the misconception that it's about you, the patient, 100% of the time. And that's just not true. And we are just not trained that way. Now, most of the time, that is true. But there is exceptions. Like now, we're in a pandemic, a pamaroo. Let's just give an example. If you're in a hospital room, and you've coded, for all you people that don't know out there, you about to die, it has been instructed that you do not enter that room until you have your proper PPE on. For all those young nurses out there that don't have a clue yet, that could be 5 minutes. For more experienced nurses that you're wanting to take these rights from, that are going to walk away when you mandate it, they maybe can get it on too, depending on how many nurses are around to actually help them. You know, there's brain damage within 3 minutes. Now let's get real. Most nurses out there are going to ignore that protocol. Most of them are going in without PPE or with PPE. PPE became a shortage. You couldn't even have it in the hospital because everybody's wearing 3 masks to the supermarket. So whether we knew you were going to be at risk, we were going to be at risk, you were going to die, and still put us at risk, we did it. Your nurses are going to do it. Now we hear you don't feel comfortable with nurses as myself and many others that were risking our lives to save your life. Every nurse can honestly say, you want to see our vax card? Let's see your HIV card when you walk through the hospital. I mean, we're asking for cards, we're asking for identification, like that's okay. Then that would be like us asking for that when you come through the hospital door. Or anything else that's out there circulating, hepatitis B and a lot of other things. Because if we ain't got no PPE up in here and we can't even do the job properly, we're gonna need to see cards. So I'd be real careful what we're out there mandating. Because those nurses with those ethics that are left, because you know guys, we have those code of ethics that we go by, they ain't gonna let you die. They're gonna be right there standing on the front line. They stood through the front line during the whole pandemic. But now we're wanting to force people to think alike. And that's what the end game is, guys. If you're not aware, to put a mandate on nurses or to put a mandate on a military, what is at the end game? You have a bunch of people at that point that can't free think for themselves. So they're going to align a military and they're going to align nursing and hospitals with a bunch of people that think you don't have the right to choose. It's a scary time because it don't end there. I mean, if you don't have the right to choose whether you can put something into your body, when you start putting all those people that think the exact same into those settings, you're not going to have a lot of rights when you come through a hospital. There's called a Bill of Rights for each patient that walks into a hospital, whether you know it or not. We have to tell you about a drug that we're fixing to give you. We have to tell you about side effects, which they really can't about a vaccine yet. They have to tell you long-term effects about a drug, which they really can't about this vaccine yet. We have to go through all those things, and then as you have to decide as a patient, even from Tylenol or ibuprofen, whether you want it to go in your body or not. That is a choice that you get under your Bill of Rights here in America. Well, that's saying we're taking all that away. You no longer have that choice when you walk through a hospital. What you want for your health care, that's out the window. As nurses like me that believe you still have a choice, we're being pushed to leave whatever job we would have because you're wanting to push something that we don't agree with at the moment, and we're going to walk out. That's a scary time, guys. That's a scary moment. One day when you're sitting in the hospital and you're surrounded by every hepatitis, every AIDS patient, every cockroach that's crawling on the wall, and STD that's around, that's honestly what you're worried about, is if your nurse is vaccinated or not? Okay. Then to our second part, our military. My husband, as you know, is the military. We're a military family. He came to me for the first 2 weeks and kept asking me. It wasn't me asking him because he knew where I stood. And he knows when he asked me more than once, Michelle, there's no need to come ask me again, babe. Michelle doesn't change. Michelle's, what she says is because it's what I believe. And I won't bend my rules for nobody, but I can't say that for him. But when he come and kept asking me, Michelle, babe, all I can tell you is what I would do. I can't tell you this is your career, what you should do with your career. I just warn anybody out there, on the military part, I won't speak too much, because why? Because I'm really not allowed to. If you even get to see this video, how much we are censored here lately. I don't want to be any more censored than I already am. I would just tell you, if you came here for the military part, there's a lot of us with you. Do not feel like you're alone in this. I see, I've heard, I know the struggles right now that are going on in families. I do not think it's fair that a burden is being put on military families after all the burdens that we already go through. I don't think it's fair to add another one. You're talking about people that this is their income. You're talking about soldiers that have defended our nation. And at the end, guys, it's just to make all like-minded people. That's never a good situation. Michelle's full of energy. Michelle is full of devotion to Jesus. Michelle's full of a lot of stuff, okay? And her personality is very unspoken. You don't need 10 of me in a room. I promise you, never on any given day do you need 10 of me in a room. Because that'd be like a bunch of monkeys in there just jumping off the wall. And that's what a bunch of like-minded people would be the end game for, no matter what. It doesn't matter what they're thinking. If you put a bunch of like-minded people, it's just not a good end game, guys. You do know, when this first started, I was in the UK, right? And the slogan, I will say slogan, came out quickly: protect the NHS. I'm sure my comment section can light up with I'm putting people down. I'm part of the system, guys. Calm down. It's a slogan. That's all it is at that point. That just becomes something somebody drilled in your head every day when you turned on the TV, so you thought you were protecting the NHS by getting a vaccine. It's no more than words, guys. It's not out saving lives. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody tells you. Putting signs, and as we clapped every night at 8 o'clock at night, I think those things are respectable. I can get behind that 100%. But at the end of the day, as I tell my children, words are just words. They're empty. That's all they are. They can be very hurtful, but they are just words. People didn't mind when the pandemic first started, as I said, without PPE. People have went out and bought 1,000 of them and masking up in their own house. There wasn't enough to go around for the medical staff. So people just still didn't mind walking in the doors, even though they were sick and they were scared. Mandate something on the people that were there when this first happened with no PPE, no vaccinations, and now you want to mandate stuff? Guys, because you're scared. Well, the rest of us aren't. I get caught out a lot between my American and the UK content. You know that I love both places dearly. Both places have such great things that are pros and cons for both. But one thing that I love for America, and I will always say this, to me, America stands for freedom of the world. Just know that I stand behind you guys. United, we will continue to stand. And I love all of you guys. And I know it's hard right now. Just pray. Keep praying. And as someone tried to tell me the other day that God is not always in control, He is. God is always in control. He's already won this, so just have the faith in Him. And just know that they're going to threaten you with punishments. They may go through with those punishments. I get it. That's why I can't answer that decision for my husband in this household. So I can only tell him my input, what I would do, and he knows, as the woman I am, I 100% stand flat-footed, not going to budge from my end. Just know that you have the support here. We love each other. And until the next, bye guys.